Hey everyone, today we're going to be looking at American Truck Simulator. It's been a little while since I've released a video, so I thought I would jump back in with American Truck Simulator, which is a game I've put a lot of time into recently. It's a fun, relaxing game. We'll talk a little bit about it as we get into it. But the Christmas gifts delivery event is going on right now. Basically, in both Euro Truck Simulator, American Truck Simulator, if you go in, you do some of these jobs that are Christmas related things, and you can find them pretty quickly just by searching for Christmas in the jobs menu in World of Trucks. You can win some great prizes, and they show them right down here. These are accessible both on the Steam page and also when you load up the game, it'll let you launch this so you can see what you can win and everything. And if you do it in both games, you win some additional things. So yeah, let's jump right in. So here we are. We're getting ready to do our delivery. We're starting in Roswell, and we're heading to Clovis in the eastern part of New Mexico. So this is the New Mexico DLC, which I do recommend. And I'm driving my Kenworth 389, which is the truck I prefer, and I've put in probably about 30 to 40 hours into the game so far, and tried a bunch of the different trucks. The only one I haven't tried is the newer Volvo truck, and I've played a few of the trucks in ETS too, so Euro Truck Simulator as well. But this is really my favorite truck for most types of loads. So in terms of the game, overall, I think American Truck Simulator has a really interesting niche. It's a very relaxing game. For me, this is a great game to go to if you have maybe 20 or 30 minutes. You want to just sort of chill out. You don't want to do anything too stressful. I like to play some of the MOBAs like Here's the Storm, or I'll play Hearthstone, things like that. And this is just kind of a change of pace compared to those. And it's a pretty simple, pretty laid back game, and you're just kind of driving from point to point. You can see on the map at the bottom right, it sort of shows you the roads that you've driven on in that sort of yellowish brown color, and then the gray roads are the ones you haven't been on. So there's sort of a fun mini game, if you will, of hitting up all the roads and trying to explore as much of the map as possible. There's also some different components. Maybe I'll get into it about company building. It's pretty simplistic, where you can hire other drivers. They'll bring in money for you, but it's a pretty cool way to bring in some additional income, and there's a system of loans and things like that. But all in all, not too complicated, especially if you're used to a more complex sort of business management type simulator game. But this is not that. It's primarily just driving around. I would say my biggest complaints about American Truck Simulator, it would be that it clearly was designed by folks who don't drive in America, and they've sort of talked a little bit about that on their blog and things like that. That some of the dynamics of how cars move between lanes and things like that were pretty bad. The game has improved drastically over time, though. So when it first came out, it was I would say pretty rough, and then they had a map expansion about just over a year ago, where they really spread out the cities to make it feel more like America and less like Europe, and that was really helpful, changing that map scale. But there's just things in the game where cars will move in very bizarre ways, or especially the on ramps and off ramps of highways. Cars don't necessarily behave the way you'd expect them to if you drive in America. It's the sort of drivers who get to the top of the off ramp or the on ramp and just slam their brakes, and you're like, what are you doing? So that's kind of killer. But other than that, it's a pretty fun game. In terms of damage and things that can really set you back, unless you really have a terrible accident, most small fender benders will set you back. You'll get a ticket or a violation, or some damage to your truck that you need to repair. But all in all, it's not too hard to get through each map and have a situation where you make money every single time. And other than a few kind of weird crashes I've got into over the couple of days worth of this game I've played, there really isn't too much that can set you back and really crush your dreams of being a trucker, if that's what you like. You can see here we're in the middle of the night. There is a sleep cycle. You can see in the GPS there's a couple of things that shows. There's your truck that turns red as you get more and more damage. It really doesn't show damage until you get to about 5%. At that point, usually I just go and get it repaired at a garage as soon as you drive by. You see the gas indicator there in the yellow. That means my gas tank is pretty much full. You see the bed there, which is a sleep system. That really lets you simulate that you can only drive so many hours per day before you start getting tired, and then the game starts. You start yawning, you start losing some of your peripheral vision, and whatnot. So you really get to a point where you have to sit and rest. There's some other random things that pop up as you play the game. So there are things like way stations that you have to drive into, when it will alert you when you need to do that. But all in all, you really just sort of pick a destination and drive to it, and that's what I really enjoy about it, is you can kind of go from location to location and kind of pick your route, pick how long you want to drive. Earlier in this day, before I recorded this, I did what was in game about a 10-hour drive. That probably took about a half an hour of real time. You see this, it was about a 3-hour drive, and it's maybe a 10 to 12 minute drive, or a little bit less, it looks like, from this video. So in terms of that, I think it's a good way that you can jump into a game if you only have a few minutes to play. You can even pause midway through and save the game and come back into it where you left off, as long as the map doesn't get updated. That's, I guess, another small frustration, is if the map gets updated, sometimes it kicks you back to your home place if you're in the middle of the route. But other than that, you kind of choose where you want to go, and you can drive around the nation. So the game started, it came with California, it came with Nevada as part of that opening package, and they gave Arizona away for free as a DLC when the game first launched. You could get the game pretty cheaply on Steam, especially if you grab it during the Steam sale, which is going on right now, or you just wait for a Steam sale. The DLCs, though, don't drop much in price. Oregon is the newest DLC. So there's New Mexico and Oregon, so they've expanded to the west and then to the north. I waited a little bit to pick up the New Mexico DLC. The Oregon DLC right now is 10% off, which is, it puts it at about $12 US if you're in the United States. Not a huge discount, but you definitely get your time and your money's worth. You can hit up usually 12 to 15 cities in each state. You can build garages. You can visit, go down on these side streets and roads, and it's primarily major highways. But then once you get into towns, you can kind of pick where you want to go. So all in all, I do highly recommend this game if you're looking for something a little bit more relaxing. And right now is a great time because you can do these Christmas bonuses. You can get some gifts. You can sell them on Steam if you want. Most, I think, folks who play this game prefer to just kind of jump in and save them and keep them with them. And that's what I've done in the past events. You get different paint jobs. You get different sort of decorations for your truck. So I usually just keep them. You can see here this car kind of pulls out and puts me in a tough spot. I have to take this left, and then I kind of block traffic here to get around this truck, take a wide left turn so I don't slam into it. But you can see it's way over that stop line. So it's just little things like that where the AI is a little bit of a frustration. But all in all, a really fun game. I'd recommend it. If y'all would like to see more American Truck Simulator, do let me know. Post in the comments, give a like. Feel free to subscribe. I would like to throw up some more American Truck Simulator over time. And we're going to be doing some other games as well. So here's the Storm I have on deck. I've got some recordings already from some games for that. But if there's anything else you'd like to see, feel free to leave a comment, send me a message, whatnot. Thanks so much for watching, and we appreciate it.